Okay, so we did electrical engineering for our engineering project. So first off, what is electrical engineering? Electrical engineering deals with electricity and the technology that comes with it. Some electrical engineers design new systems of electricity while others manage and maintain those systems to make sure they work well and they don't have any flaws in them. They work on a range of things from microchips to generators. In this job, they use their knowledge of math, science, and physics to complete the projects that they complete daily.
And then we watched the first video.
My name's Ailish McLaughlin. I'm 23 and I work for Northern Ireland Electricity. So I went to Thornhill College and for my A-levels I decided to do physics, maths, history and politics. So I decided then to go on and do a career in engineering. And I picked electrical and electronic engineering at Queen's. I loved solving equations and working out problems to things. Within EEE, there is such a wide area that you can go into, whether it's communications and working with mobile phones, or software based and building programs on the computer, or whether you're like me going on to power engineering and working out how to deal with all the constraints that are on the network. It's hard work, but it's really enjoyable. Within the EEE course as well, Queen's, there's quite a lot of scholarship opportunities. NIE itself actually run a scholarship which means they'll sponsor students throughout their time at university and offer them paid placements and summer placements as well. During final year in December I applied for a graduate position at NIE. It was tough, but I got the job, which I was very, very happy about, and it was also good knowing I had got the job halfway through my final year, so it sort of took one thing off my mind. Then I was placed into my first graduate role, which is in small scale generation. So my job would involve going out and meeting customers who are looking to put up turbines, whether it's wind, solar panels or anaerobic digesters. Meeting with them and sort of planning how they will connect onto the network, what type of infrastructure needs to be built, whether it's a few spans of overhead line or underground cable into one of NIE substations. Planning that and coming back to the office, costing the job, and then finally getting it to construction. It's quite challenging, there's a lot of work, but it's quite interesting at the same time because no job is the same, and you're meeting quite a lot of customers as well, so you'll be out and about. Along with university and doing the course, I also sort of wanted to expand the types of things I was getting involved in, so I decided to join the IET Young Professionals Committee. The IET is a UK-wide body. I was actually made the chairperson of the Young Professionals Committee, which was quite an achievement. Tonight I'm actually going to meet some of my university friends from the course. We're meeting up for a few drinks and some dinner. It'd be good to find out what they're doing in their jobs and where they're working at and the types of things that they'll be doing as well. I really love working for NIE. They have so many opportunities within the company, and really it's down to Queen's and them giving me the opportunity to come into a job like this. If I hadn't have done electrical and electronic engineering, I don't know where I would be, so I'm really glad I chose to study at Queen's.
Hi, I'm John Poots. I'm 24 years old. I started working in Intel just over a year ago now. I took a short summer after university and then started in Intel. I got thrown in the deep end with the design work with them. So to get to Intel, I chose electrical and electronic engineering because I loved solving problems, either creating something new which helped or made something more efficient. I knew I wanted to do engineering, and electrical and electronic just seemed like the most obvious to me because the world is made purely by electronics now. There's more and more being created every year. I just thought it would be great to be involved in that creation process, to see how all that works and help create something myself that hundreds of people will use every day. Probably the best bit about my degree was the broad range of subjects. Soon enough I was studying how some of the smallest electronics in the world were created, and that stuff just fascinated me. Through the broad range of subjects in the course, I really got to pick and choose what I did and didn't like and moved into an area that I did like. So whenever I was finishing my degree, there was a large selection of companies that were looking to hire people in all different ranges of subjects. So if you really enjoyed the subject and were a bit passionate about it, most companies are willing to take you on. I got picked up from Queen's 3 months before I finished my degree, so I already knew at the end that I was going into a job. And now I'm working for Intel, which is one of the largest semiconductor manufacturers in the world. Within 3 months of getting here, I was already helping to finish designs on small parts of our chips, and within 6 months that chip was finished. So to go from just starting your career to helping design something to actually owning and being able to use it is really fast paced in electronic engineering, and again something that I don't think you get in a lot of other professions. This to me is perfect because I get bored very easily, so to have something that changes and keeps you interested for the years to come is perfect.
An electrical engineer day is mainly centered around one or more projects that they have to complete that involve many complex problems involved with science and engineering. They may either be working at a computer or in a lab working with equipment.
So next is the job opportunities. We chose two online. One is the entry level, and then the other one is the experience. Okay, so the next slide is the job opportunities. So we have two jobs that we chose. We have an entry level electrical engineer, and then we have an experienced electrical engineer. So the entry level electrical engineer, the average salary for this specific job opportunity is $73,000 to $112,000. The education and degrees that you need for this, the requirements are a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from an ABET accredited school, familiarity with preparing structural calculations, proficient in Microsoft Suite, excellent writing, presentation, and communication skills, ability to be an individual contributor and work effectively in teams, ability to be badged at a nuclear power plant, and more at. And then I put the link for where we got this information from for the people who wanted somebody to work for them. And then the company is Enercom, and I linked that there too.
So, the experienced electrical engineering. The average salary for this for these jobs is 62K to 110K per year. The education degrees for this job is BS or BA in engineering, science or mathematics, electrical engineering or electrical engineering technology with up to 4 years of experience, master degrees in engineering preferred. The company is Apex System.
Okay, so this is the salary comparison. So between these two jobs, the entry level would earn more money than the experienced. This is dependent on which company you choose to work with. Most of the time, the experienced job should get paid more. There isn't a big difference between the two different jobs that we found, but there could be a bigger gap between salaries depending on which company you're interested in getting hired at. So basically, the jobs that we chose, the experienced had a little bit lower of the salary than the entry level. And that's because it depends what you would be doing at the job and depending on the company, because different companies could pay you more money and some could pay you less, or some jobs could be harder than others.
Is these jobs recommended to pursue? The growth rate. From 2019 to 2028, electrical engineering is predicted to grow by 2%, which is slower than average. However, this job has one of the highest salaries among the engineering major. It is not probable that people who work in this field of engineering will not be needed anytime soon. I would recommend this job.
Along with that, when I was doing some research, it said that robots, since robots are like taking a lot of jobs now, they said that robots probably wouldn't take electrical engineers because it's a new job, and yeah. So next, we have like some of the most popular jobs in engineering. So the first is the electrical engineer at Houston, Texas, New York, San Diego, Charlotte, Tucson, and Dallas. So this is the description. Electrical engineers design, develop, test, and supervise the manufacturing of electrical equipment, such as electric motors, radar, and navigation systems, communication systems, and power generation equipment. Electronics engineers design and develop electronic equipment such as broadcast and communication systems, from portable music players to global positioning systems, GPS.
So the second most popular job is electrical engineering and internship. The top locations are Houston, New York, Boston, San Diego, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Minneapolis, Orlando, Charlotte, Denver. This is a description. Electrical engineering design, develop, and supervise the manufacturing of electrical equipment such as electric motor and radar and navigation system, communication system, and power generation equipment. Electronic engineer design and develop electronic equipment such as broadcast and communication system, from portable music to global positioning system, GPS.
Okay, so this is the third most popular job. The top locations are New York, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Austin, Texas, Washington, D.C., San Diego, Huntsville, Chicago, and Charlotte. So the job description, it's a systems engineer. I don't know if I said that. Anyway, so software developers are the creative minds behind computer programs. Some develop the applications that allow people to do specific tasks on a computer or another device. Others develop the underlying systems that run the devices or that control the networks. Also, I just wanted to point out that the green, where it says the job name, that's a link, so you can go look at where we found that. And so we put some links to sites where you can learn more about electrical engineering. And then we also put our bibliography, which sites we used for our information and where we got our information from. So yeah, that's it.